how you are responding on upcoming elections in USA. What is your opinion?
Well, I couldn't understand what was just said. I heard white supremacy in there, but other than that, not much. I didn't understand much of it. Oh, now I can't hear you. Oh,
Dave, he's looking forward to hear from you. What is your opinion on current political
Yes.
scenario?
yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
Uh, okay, all right. Because the image is coming and going. There we go. I don't know. Now you can hear me. Fine. I'm an independent. I support Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has recently endorsed Donald Trump. So I'm stuck with Trump. I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris. In I followed her a little bit during the primaries when she was running, and she did not get a single delegate because she's not a good person. And that's my opinion, but it's not just my opinion. You can ask the people who didn't vote for her during the primaries. She has actually not gotten a single vote other than as vice president. She obviously got lots of votes. But when she was running for president in 2020, you can go back and look at that campaign and see how she functioned, who was backing her, and so on. And you'll learn a little more about her. Um, I'm curious to hear your opinions of Kamala Harris because I'm open to other people's opinions. But since you're asking my opinion, I think she's not a good person at all. She was responsible for a lot of very bad policies when she was in California as the Attorney General. She locked up a lot of people for crimes that she committed, and they call them crimes. Using marijuana is one of the crimes that people go to jail for here. I don't know what the law is there in India, but it's in this state. It's still illegal to use cannabis. Certain forms are available that are not the prohibited ones. So it is pseudo legal here. But in many states in the United States, marijuana is legal. In Illinois, where I have property there, it is legal to buy and use recreational cannabis. So Kamala Harris in California, it was still illegal at the time, and many people were put in jail for cannabis use and selling cannabis. And she was keeping them in prison so that they could be used for cheap labor. And this is a form of slavery. So it's rather ironic that the first black female president candidate has a history of being a prosecutor of black people and white people and all colors, of course, but pe- black people were in prison when she was the attorney general, and she was keeping them in prison so that they could be used for cheap labor. And you can look all this up. I recommend watching Jimmy Dore. He documents this rather well. If you're familiar with the Jimmy Dore show, he's a comedian and political pundit, I guess you would say. He's very well informed on many issues, and he says a lot of things that most people in my end of the spectrum, which is the left, will not say. And if you look it up, it is true. So during the COVID times, he was very outspoken against the measures that they were putting in place, the lockdowns, the forced vaccinations on many people, things like that. And in YouTube, you would be kicked off or silenced or shadow banned or basically silenced during this time period, which I find to be extremely, it's an extremely educational time period, and I'm wondering how much people have learned during that time period about authoritarian government. And we saw it in real time under a Democratic administration. It started under Trump, of course, but during the Biden's handling of the COVID situation, I think we got to see the mask come off of this party. This party is not about, we call them liberals. The word liberal, the foundation is the word liberty. And if you're a libertarian, you share some values with that philosophy. But when you call today's Democrats liberals, it is an abuse of the word. They are not liberals. We call them that, and that's their name. But as far as liberal philosophy, they are not. They are more corporatist authoritarians. And when you examine Biden's policies, other than a few little pieces of window dressing around the edges, it is an authoritarian corporatist policy, which Mussolini correctly identified as fascism. When you marry the corporations and the
Yes,
state,